Hello! So I'm going to do a little bit of a makeup tutorial. I know during these trying times, times of uncertainty, most of us aren't even wearing makeup, and as you can clearly see, my distinguished guests, this is me, no makeup, completely 100%. I have bags under my eyes, I have like no eyebrows, and just, just ugh. So right now, most of us aren't really worried about what we look like at all because we're just sitting at home. We've been sitting at home for like a month now, and we're slowly losing our minds like the rest of you. But every once in a while, you do have to venture out into the public, and sometimes you'll run into people you know, and you don't want to look like this. So I'm just going to do a quick little makeup tutorial. Nothing too strenuous, nothing too serious, but I'm just going to jump right in and get started. So you want to start off with a very, nice clean face, like most of you probably already have anyway. Maybe wash it with soap, preferably. You don't Lysol your face. Let's not get crazy around here. But yeah, so you want to start off with a nice clean face. And then you want to, I like to put on a little bit of this. It's Asterwood. It's vitamin C. I just put some of this on. Usually I have this at night, but I like to put it on before I put on my makeup. My hands are clean too, by the way. So I just kind of just do like a thin coat of that on my face a little bit. And I'm actually going to do my makeup backwards because that's supposedly, after watching other tutorials from like 12-year-olds who are really good at doing their makeup, as I'm 30 plus some years old. I don't even remember how old I am anymore. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. What year is it? They're really good at doing their makeup. I'm not. So I'm going to pretend that I'm one of these girls, and so they just yeah, that's not this kind of video. Don't expect that. But I'm gonna do it backwards. How I usually do my makeup is I'll put on my skincare stuff. This vitamin C stuff I usually will put on before my makeup, and then I'll also throw on like a primer, which I am going to do today. I'm gonna be using this one. Came in my Ipsy bag. Yeah, that's Ipsy. I like Ipsy a lot. Ipsy is, I'm not endorsed, by the way, obviously. I don't get paid to do this, but I do like Ipsy. It's pretty affordable, and they give you 5 little samples every month, and people are like, oh, you only get 5 little samples, and da-da-da-da-da, and I like a full size, and honestly, that's nice, to get a full size product, but if you're doing it every month, I barely get through the samples, let alone a full-size product. I don't wear makeup enough. I have 4 kids, and even when it's not a pandemic going on, my life kind of runs a little bit like a pandemic is going on, and I don't use makeup I work 3 days a week, pretty much part-time, a little bit over part-time, so I don't put makeup on when I'm not home. What's the point, I go pick up my kids from school, and bless their hearts, at my children's school, they have seen me looking a mess. And they're very nice about it. They're not like, hey, are you drunk? Are you sick? They never question what's happening in this department. I do try to throw on a little mascara before I leave the house, but actually, for about 2 years, I used to get my lashes done at this little shout out, Jade's Skin and Beauty Lounge. I think she changed her name though to Jade's Lash Lounge, I think. But amazing people. She does a great job. She did my lashes for about 2 years. I've had her and then Taylor do my lashes. Both did extremely amazing work. They have a new one, Brooke. I don't know Brooke. I've never met her. But she's a new employee and she works there too. And if she's trained by Jade, she probably does great work. So just a little shout out to my lash people. But obviously I don't have lashes anymore. I decided to, surprisingly, right before the pandemic, literally a couple of weeks before the pandemic, I decided I'm going to give my lashes a break, let them, you know, grow out and kind of see where I was going from there, and then decide if I want to just go ahead and put back on or whatever. But that's obviously not happening right now. I also do hair, as most of you probably already know. I do hair, and we are shut down. So yeah, that's why my hair also looks like this. It was purple. And then the first like week of the pandemic, my husband was like, he also does hair. He owns White Horse Salon. And another shout out, White Horse Salon. So he did my hair this pink color. It's kind of, we're hoping it's actually good. It's fading out to the color that I want. I wanted like a mauve color, and it's getting there. It's hard to tell in this light, but it actually is more of a mauve now than a pink. And it's when I do style it and do it and actually take care of myself, it actually looks really nice. So because of my pink hair, I'm going to be using a palette with some pink in it. And we're just going to go ahead and get started here. Like I said, I don't know brushes at all. I don't know. I just use what I use. Maybe like a lot of you do. Maybe actually, I don't know. Maybe some of you are really good at doing makeup and you guys are like looking at me like, that's not the right brush for that. Guaranteed, I'm not going to be using the right brush for anything. So don't judge me. I know. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started here. I'm just pulling out a few brushes that I know I'm gonna use, just so I'm not digging around too much while I get going here. So, the stuff that I do know about makeup that I did learn in hair school, from a wonderful man, actually, taught me how to apply eye makeup. He's really good. You just want to do like a base, you know, a base color. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do this one as a base. Don't judge me. I just go with it. Like a lot of you probably do. You probably look at your palettes and go, that's a lot to choose from. Because it is. It's a lot to choose from. So I'm just gonna do the lid, kind of higher up, I guess. I don't know. I usually do, like I said earlier, I do my face makeup first usually, but I'm doing this backwards because this is technically like the right way to do it. Not that, you know, with makeup, it's an art. It's definitely an art. And I feel like with art, it's kind of subjective. You can do what feels right to you. I'm not going to get too crazy with it. So I'm just going to do a little base here. Base color to get kind of started. I always choose like a lighter color, and then I'll move into like my darker colors. So, and then I'm gonna do this one, I think. This one right here. Probably gonna use this whole palette. I don't like to mix and match palettes because I usually don't have time, honestly. What it boils down to is I like to do things that are quick, painless. I'm gonna go right on the seam here, crease, try to get that. The biggest thing with all of any makeup, honestly, is blending. Just blend until you start bleeding. No, don't do that. And then you're done. As soon as you see blood, stop. No, you just keep blending. Don't blend it all away. I mean, you don't want to blend it into one blob, but the biggest thing is definitely a blend. Blending is key. Because back in like the 90s, girls didn't, I don't know if makeup just evolved in such a way. Even I've noticed since I started wearing makeup. I started wearing makeup when I was 12. My mom let me wear makeup. It was basic makeup. I mean, she was like, here, you can wear mascara and colored lip gloss. And that's pretty basic for a 12-year-old. And that's good enough for a 12-year-old, okay? 12-year-olds, that's good enough. Your skin is baby soft and gorgeous. You don't need 1,500 layers of foundation because that's usually what these girls do. I was watching a girl the other day. I was like, how much are you putting on? I didn't even know what half the crap was that she put on her face. No idea. So anyway, this is this a little darker here. Tap. Always make sure to tap. Otherwise it gets like a lot and then a whole on her face. And then you're like, I look like I've been crying like a lot. So I always just kind of like that, and then I just do the crease again here, and then a little bit onto the lid, and yeah, and then we're gonna go back through. I'll show you. So it looks a little nuts right now, but it'll look better. I promise, it'll look better. I won't look like I'm trying to I don't know, be really emo, really goth. Yeah, so just gonna slide that on there. Try to make it even. I mean, you want to try to get it a little bit because that'll help, you know, later on with all that crazy blending. I don't know how you guys do your makeup. I try to watch these, like I said, I watch these tutorials and I'm like, do any of these women have kids? Like, I don't have time to put on all that stuff. Like, it's too much. It's too much. I love, and I know at some point in my life it won't be this busy. I know that. I'm aware that I won't always be losing my mind. You know what? I lied to you. I am going to use a different palette because I do want to grab just a lighter color to blend, because the other one here has shimmer and I do want to use the shimmer, but I'd like to just like this lighter color here, just to through the top here in the crease over here, kind of by the corner of my eye. And I just want to go right under the brow. And then again, right in the very center of my lid. That kind of, as you can see, like you can tell the difference, it kind of opens it up. See? Open. Closed. But it just kind of makes it bigger, wider, I don't know. More Bambi eyes. Just kidding. No, I don't, like I said, I don't know. This is probably the worst video. You're probably watching this going, this girl is a lunatic. She's absolutely out of her mind. Okay. So we'll get that right there on the center and open it up. Yeah, it's okay. Not too bad. I mean, not great, but not bad. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so I got that going. Then I am going to use this shimmery one here. Different brush here. I'm just going to go right in the corner a little bit and then just kind of fan it out. And then pull it up and then fan it out a little bit. So, yeah, I think this is nice. It's gonna be good. And not look like a crazy person. It's gonna be okay. It's all gonna be okay. Yeah, I don't know how people do these videos because I am just not. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just not that kind of person. It's hard to talk to yourself. You know, although I did see a meme recently that was like, if you see me talking to myself, don't judge me. I'm having a parent-teacher conference, which I giggled because it's like, yeah, that's pretty much life at this point. You know, it is. It's, yeah, okay. So, and then I have a different brush here, and I'm just gonna blend. And then it kind of just blends it all together. And blend it all together. Yeah. Oh, darling. Okay, so that's like the eye makeup portion of my life, I think. Yeah, and then I'm gonna do my brows, which everybody, again, in the 90s, people didn't really worry about their brows. They were like, just make them as thin as possible. If it's the thinnest you can get them, go a little bit thinner. And now, eyebrows have just changed so much. So now everyone's like, I want them thick. I want them real thick. And I don't have thick brows. I barely have brows. So I always kind of pencil. So I give myself a guide, kind of just guide around it. And I can't, there's girls out there, their eyebrows look amazing. Like amazing. Do you know who's really good at doing makeup? This is another little shout out. Emma Lee. She's also a photographer, but she does the most amazing eye makeup ever. And sometimes I'm like, I wish she would do a tutorial because I would watch that. Not that I would be able to do what she's doing, because knowing my luck, I'll end up with like Nike swooshes for eyebrows. And even as it is, I still get a little heavy-handed with the eyebrow stuff, and then I have to like back up and be like, okay, how far back can I see these things? Am I stopping traffic? Not in a good way. Like, are people confused? Do I look angry? Have I given myself Mr. Potato Head angry eyes? Like, I really have to double check myself, as most girls do, I'm sure, because you watch these girls with these beautiful, beautiful eyebrows, and I'm like, how are you doing this? Like, why am I so at life? Like, I'm a girl. I should be better at this. That kind of sounded a little bit on the sexist side. You know what? No, I don't have to be a girl. I just would like to be better at it. But let's be honest, I don't have time. I don't have time. I wish I did. I will. At some point in my life, I will have time. So I just use eyebrow pencil that I've been using for years, from Rimmel. So some of my makeup is very expensive. Some of my makeup is super cheap. And some of my makeup is I've used it for so long, it doesn't even have a name anymore. I can't even tell you what it is. I learned the hard way that my color is Java. It is not espresso, because espresso goes on black, like dark, and it's just not good for me. So I pencil, and then I go through with like a powder brow. I think it stays on better, and I feel like it gives it a more natural, fuller look. And also I don't have to worry too much if it rains. I am that person though that will be like in my car waiting to pick up my kids or something, or on my way to Target, and I'll be like, oh no, I rubbed off my eyebrow. What do I do? So I do now carry a little kit, like one of these, but like a smaller one. It only has like 2 colors, and I think it has like the Java and then like a brow light, which goes under. I'll show you. I'll do it, but it goes under the eyebrow to kind of heighten it, give it a little more. Yeah, and then I always put that on, and then I always take my little, and I just kind of like to get that excess out of there so that it's not, I don't know, it doesn't look so chunky. I don't know the best way to describe it. This is like probably the worst video you've ever watched, like tutorial wise. You're probably like, I've learned nothing, and you're not really supposed to learn anything. This is more like just for fun, because like I said, I am a trained professional, I promise, but I'm not, this is not my major, like, what I do. I don't do makeup for events, usually, unless it's like a special request. And then I tell them flat out, hey, I don't do this very often. I will help you, but don't expect like, because it's not gonna be like that. Yeah, so this is, so far, I got some eyebrows on now. Probably not, like I said, the best. Whatever. They're on. I have eyebrows. You can see them. You can see them from here. So we're doing good. Thank you, coffee. And a donut. If you can't see backwards for you, probably. Yeah. So then, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on my under eye bags. And this part of my life, I actually do use fairly decent makeup. So I'm using this is Bye Bye Under Eye. I really like this product. I found this after I had my first son, who had colic. Love him dearly. He's the light of my life. beautiful little boy. He's 2, and he still has colic. No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't. But he's different. That's for sure. He's energy. So much energy. My daughter was so different. You know, she was a very relaxed kid. She could sit and watch a full-length movie from the time she was 14 months. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, she was just such an easy baby. And I didn't realize how lucky that actually was until my little guy came along. And I'm like, this kid is 2.5 now, and he doesn't sit still for nothing. I mean, just nothing. And my husband's like, you gotta get control of him because he doesn't listen to you at all. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, thanks. I didn't notice. See, already better. I mean, yeah. See the panda. It's a little better. Oh, man. Yeah, so I'm actually, if you're wondering, like, why are you doing this now? I thought you only put on makeup when you go out. It's true. I am going to go out, y'all. I am on my way to go, this is the foundation that I use. Sometimes I use this one. It's also, this is Bye Bye Foundation. It's a full coverage moisturizer. I like this one because it's not heavy. It's very light when it goes on, and this is kind of my everyday. It's not what I use for events. When I do, like, I go to an event, I use this one. This is an Ever Matte primer, so it kind of primes your face and it lets the foundation go on matte, so you're not shiny. I tend to get kind of oily, especially during an event, because I have anxiety and I get really sweaty. I hate it. I hate it so much. I use like that anti-dry perspirant at night that like helps. It's so bad. If I could get Botox in my armpits, I probably would. I'm just, I don't, you're like, cool, thanks. Tell me more about how sweaty you are. I needed to know. So I'm sweaty. I get nervous. I get anxiety. But, so I use this one. And I use this one with my Marc Jacobs. This is the best ever foundation. It's Marc Jacobs foundation. You literally use like it's kind of gross, sorry, because I've used it for so long. I actually need a new one. On my birthday every year is when I go to Sephora and I let myself like splurge. So I'll spend, $100, $200, which for me is splurging because I'm, other moms probably could agree. You don't do that with yourself ever. So my birthday, my husband knows. He's always like, are we going to Sephora? Like, he's so cute. He knows. And he knows that I only do it once a year. So yeah, so you use this. It's like a drop, like you use a drop of it and it can cover your whole face. It's amazing. Another shout out, another makeup artist, Melissa Hong. She does, she was a makeup artist actually in Vegas, so she taught me about that. She's actually a person that she showed me this stuff too. I kind of go to for makeup because she knows what she's doing. She's phenomenal. She's really knowledgeable about this kind of stuff. Yeah, so she just really saves the day when it comes to that because, and then like I said, I do use crappy stuff too, or not as good stuff. So this is like a Neutrogena Shine Control Primer. So I'll put like a little bit of this on before, just for my everyday. And by the way, I'm not doing an event. Getting back to that, I'm going out, but it's not really like an event, obviously, because we can't, we're still practicing social distancing. But it is my Opa, which is German for grandpa. It is his birthday today. He is older. I don't know if he would want me to say how old he is, but he is having a birthday today. And so we are going to actually go to his house and surprise him. I made cupcakes that are terrible. They're not good, but I made them, so hopefully he'll eat them. Or at least attempt to eat one and just be, okay, here, crappy cupcakes, but we made cupcakes. Okay, so I'm just gonna use a little bit. I just use one squeeze of this, my everyday one, not the Marc Jacobs ones, because the Marc Jacobs one is full coverage, and it's like really good full coverage, like does not come off. This is more or less like a moisturizer. It kind of, but with a tint. So it does cover, but it's not as covery. I don't know. But so I just use a little squirt here. So I'm just gonna do this area, as you can see here, and just kind of line it around the work I've done. So I like to, and again, the key with a lot of this stuff is just blending. And this was probably way too much I put on because I usually do my whole face. But since we're doing a special COVID makeup, I'm actually not doing my whole face. What? You're not doing your whole face? No. Why would I do my whole face when I am only going to be seen from like here up? So I'm only doing my makeup from here up, which I will show you when I'm all done how amazing it's gonna look. I hope. We'll see. I don't know. I'm gonna look. So you just kind of just that there. Let's go like this here. And hopefully I don't look like I was hit by a Mack truck anymore. Because that's kind of how I feel. Anybody else feel like your brain is just mashed potatoes? Like for real. Mashed potatoes. Blend that down. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah. So now that we got that on, next thing I'm gonna use is a bigger brush and this banana crap all over it. It's a banana setting powder. I don't know what that means. This was again another Ipsy they sent me. But like these things last me so long because I don't use them very often. So just a little powder just to kind of set that foundation. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there, ladies and gentlemen. Not that many gentlemen are probably watching this. They might be leaning over their wife's shoulder going, what are you watching? Is that Kale's wife? What the hell is she doing? Is she drunk? What's going on? This I've been using for years. It's Bronze Booster from Physicians Formula. What I love about this one is that you can layer it. It doesn't go on like I have another one here that I got in my Ipsy, and I've been using it for the past month, and it's okay. It's whatever. I mean, but this one I really like because you don't need a lot. But you can layer it so you can kind of go as dark as you want to with it. So I like to put a thin coat of this on because it kind of gives me the illusion of a tan. Again, blending is kind of key with any of these. And then you want to make sure to blend it right up into your hairline. That's where, back in the 90s, again, people used to just make like a sharp line and no one blended anything ever. Like, I don't know if that's just makeup is just really evolved that much, or I'm paying attention finally. Not that I was doing makeup in the 90s, but then I'm going to use this Tarte blush. We're almost done, by the way, because like I said, I don't have a ton of makeup. Well, I have a whole box full. I actually just went through it. And give myself a little rosy glow. Make sure to blend. Pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. Then I always do this last, because that's just how I do things. I'm gonna use Steve Laurent Precision eyeliner on my top lid, and then I use that one and that one and that one. This is where I really like my makeup. I just mix and match. And then I use e.l.f. on the bottom. Yeah. Okay, so one of these, and then I'm gonna grab this, because then I can get a little bit closer, and I can actually like watch what I'm doing better. Yeah. It's good, I think. It's one of those magnifying mirrors. Quick question. Can anybody really put on eyeliner or mascara without opening their mouth? I feel like that's par for the course. So just, I didn't do a wing. A lot of times I wear a wing, mostly because I mess it all up, and then I just kind of go to get it off of there. Yeah. And I don't put on a very heavy liner on the bottom. I just do it a little something more or less to kind of blend out my mascara. Not that anybody's looking at me that closely, but you know, in case you decide to. Keep my mouth closed. See, that's what I do. It's terrible. I mess it all up. Anybody else behave that way with their makeup?